Dear students, now let us see about the histology of your alimentary canal. You know, the histology is a branch of science which deals with studying of tissues of the organs of various types of organisms. It may be a plant or the animal. If you study about the various types of tissues within an organism, then we call it as histology. But my concept today is histology of the alimentary canal. What does that indicate actually? What are the types of the tissues that are all present within an alimentary canal, right? And what are their role, with which kind of tissue they are all made up of? About all the things, let us see now in a detailed way. Then what does that alimentary canal means? Here the alimentary canal is a long tube that is get extended in between your mouth and the anus. So right from the beginning of the esophagus till the rectum, that entire tube part is known as the alimentary canal. From the esophagus, beginning of the esophagus to the rectum, whatever the tube is present in between these two, that you can consider as our alimentary canal. When you cut the alimentary canal in a transfer direction, when you happen to see the wall of this alimentary canal, and the alimentary canal wall is made up of variety of tissues or the layers. The four important layers that are present within the alimentary canal, it includes the outermost layer is known as serosa. Just beneath the serosa, the outermost layer, that you can find out the second layer, which we call it as muscularis. So the muscularis is actually the second layer which is made up of muscles. Whereas coming to the third layer present within that is known as submucosa. Since it is a layer present underneath the mucosa, hence the name is assigned to it as submucosa. So the submucosa is a layer that is present in between the muscularis as well as the mucosa. Whereas coming to the fourth important layer is known as the mucosa. So these are all the four important layers that you can find out in the wall of the alimentary canal. Let us study more detailedly about these four important layers in a diagrammatic way, so it will be more clear to you. So this is actually the diagram which representing here the transverse section of your alimentary canal. So as I said just now here, the outermost layer of your alimentary canal is termed as the serosa. It is a thin layer. Very interesting part is this serosa is made up of actually the mesothelial tissues as well as some connective tissue. These are the two types of tissues that you can find out within this. One is, see this one, the tissues present within that mesothelial tissue plus connective tissue. These two types of tissues together, it constitute the outermost layer of your alimentary canal known as serosa. Right. Coming to the second one, actually this is the area, you observe it, which is present here beneath the serosa and above the submucosa. And this layer of your alimentary canal is known as muscularis. Muscularis it is. That means it is made up of muscles. The one important here thing related to these muscles, all the muscles present in your alimentary canal are involuntary muscles. The contraction and relaxation of these muscles are under not our control. Hence they are known as involuntary muscles. Clear? So most of these muscles are actually smooth muscles also. Clear? Right. When you see this one, it has got the two regions. You can see the outermost region here to here. And these muscles actually the outer longitudinal muscles. This layer here is known as outer longitudinal muscles. Whereas here the inner portion of this layer, this area, is known as inner circular muscles. Inner circular muscles. So the muscularis has got these two layers. One is outer longitudinal muscles. That means these are the muscles in the alimentary canal present all along with the length of the alimentary canal. But the second type of muscles, as I said here, are present internally. Important point. Outer actually longitudinal muscles are present. Internally, there you can find out the circular muscles are present. That means these are the muscles that are all present around the tube in a circular way. But if you take some of the regions of the alimentary canal has got the third layer of muscles also. They are known as oblique muscles. Here particularly the organ like a stomach. I said when I explain about the structure of the stomach, I said this point in detail. The stomach wall has got a 3 types of muscles. Among them I said one is the longitudinal, whereas the second one is a circular, whereas the third type of muscles also there which are oblique in their here arrangement. These are known as oblique muscles. Clear? But these oblique muscles are present only in the stomach region, whereas some other rest of the portion of your alimentary canal doesn't have this oblique muscles, whereas they do have got only these 2 types of muscles only. Right. Coming to the third one, which is present beneath the muscularis and above the mucosa, and that layer that you can see clearly in this area. This is what we call it as here submucosa. Since it is present underneath the mucosa, hence the name is assigned to that like a submucosa. Clear? Whereas when you see this submucosa, this submucosa actually made up of a certain kind of connective tissues, and this connective tissue particularly a loose connective tissue, and this loose connective tissue has got nerves, blood vessels as well as lymphatic vessels also within that. And one more interesting point, important point related to this, if you see this submucosa, this part, submucosa that is present at your duodenum, see this point. Present has got a specialized glands. These glands are known as submucosal glands or Brunner's glands. Very important bit. These are known as Brunner's glands, or since they are present in the submucosa, we consider them as submucosal glands. So where do these glands are present in the alimentary canal? These are not present all along with its length, only the point, only the duodenum region only. They have got a glands known as Brunner's glands or submucosal glands. Clear? Right. And next to this, when you see, at last you can notice that here mucosa is present. Mucosa is the innermost layer of your alimentary canal wall, which is surrounding the spacious place present at its center known as a lumen. Clear? So within that you can happen to see this one. The lumen is present which is surrounding by this mucosa. Interesting characteristic feature of this mucosa, mucosa is here having many folds. Such a kind of folds, elevations and depressions are present. Right. So these actually are known as gastric rugae in stomach. If it is alimentary canal, that means a small intestine, in that case these folds are known as villi. So they have given 2 different names based on the location. If they are all present in the stomach, then they are known as gastric rugae. If such a kind of folds or elevations or the elevations and depressions present in your small intestine, actually termed as the villi. So these are all about the 4 important layers. But if you see at the center, there you can see the spacious place, canal is present. Then we call it as here the lumen of your alimentary canal. So this is a very important structure even for the board and medical entrance examination. This diagram as well as the theory part related to this is very important to you, so that you must be much clear with this one. Right, the same here diagrammatic part, whatever I explained, I do give you here in a theoretical way also, so it will be more clear to you. Is it clear? Right. Consider here all. As I said here, the first layer of your alimentary canal is known as serosa. With which kind of material does this serosa is made up of? So see this one, it is actually a outermost layer of your alimentary canal, which is made up of mesothelium. The mesothelium that present around the visceral organs in the sense, they are the organs present in the lumen of your abdominal cavity or the here thoracic cavity. They are known as the visceral organs. Those are known as epithelium. The mesothelium that covers the visceral organs is generally known as epithelium, but in this case it is known as the mesothelium. And this layer even made up of connective tissue. Point clear? Right, this is about the first and outermost layer. And second layer is known as here muscularis. Muscularis is the second important layer present underneath the serosa. And when you see this muscularis, actually it's formed from smooth muscles is one important thing. And these smooth muscles are arranged in two different layers. One is the circular muscles, whereas the second one is outer longitudinal muscles. The circular muscles are inner circular muscle, whereas the second layer is outer longitudinal muscles. Whereas in some places, oblique muscles also present in the organ like the stomach. In the area of the stomach or in the region of the stomach, along with here circular muscles as well as the longitudinal muscles, there you can see the oblique muscles also. Point is the stomach, important bit it is, right? So this is about the muscularis. So the contraction and relaxations of the muscles actually helps for churning the food material within the stomach and helps for the movement of the food within your large as well as the small intestine. Clear? Right. Coming to the third important layer is known as submucosa. One thing. Coming to the submucosa, actually made up of here connecting tissue. It's a connective tissue. Particularly that is loose connective tissue. About this loose connective tissue and all, we will study here detailedly in the structural organization of the animals. There we study various types of tissues. There you get a detailed information regarding this loose connective tissue. And this loose connective tissue has got even the nerves, one important point, and it has got even the blood as well as lymphatic vessels also. Blood vessels as well as the lymphatic vessels also present. But if you see here the submucosa in the area of your duodenum, it's one thing. It has got a specialized glands, and these glands are known as here the Brunner's glands, or they have got another name known as submucosal glands. Brunner's glands as well as submucosal glands are present. Where do they are present? These are not present all along with the length of the alimentary canal, but these glands are restricted to the duodenum only. Clear? This is what. And next here, fourth layer in our alimentary canal, which is the mucosa. When you see this mucosa, actually the inner part, the spacious part is known as the lumen. The lumen of your alimentary canal is lined by this mucosa. That is one thing. The alimentary canal here, lumen is lined by your mucosa. The very important point related to this, the mucosa, it develops certain kind of projections. These projections within the stomach are known as gastric rugae. Important point. In which case we do consider as the gastric rugae when they are present in the stomach. Whereas if the same kind of projections that are all present in the small intestine, in that case they are known as the villi. Villi, right, is a plural word, villus is a singular word. So this is all about actually your alimentary canal and the histology of the alimentary canal. You might have get the complete information regarding this one. Now, let me tell you here the difference between this gastric rugae as well as the villi, how it is differ from one another. right? Let us see now in a detailed way regarding these two. The innermost lining of a lumen of alimentary canal is the mucosa, right? Coming to this mucosa, as I said here, has got certain kind of folds, and these folds are here of two types. The folds that present within the stomach are known as gastric rugae or simply rugae. The folds that present in the small intestine are known as the villi, right? In which case, see that if at all present within the stomach, then we call it as here the rugae. If at all it is present in a small intestine, then they are known as here the villi, right? This is about here the two things. So actually the rugae, when you see, it is a irregular folds that present in the stomach, whereas in the villi they are the finger like folds, finger like foldings that present within the stomach. So this makes here the difference between these two, right? Let us see here the two things, even the diagrammatically also, so it will be more clear to you, right? The rugae as well as the villi. See this is your diagram, internal portion of the stomach. There you can see certain kind of here ridges are present, where you can see some depressions also. Here it is a ridge, and whereas it is elevation and it is a depression. When you see the internal portion completely, it doesn't have any particular regular forms, and they are all irregularly, we can see the elevations and depressions. So these generally you can consider as here the gastric rugae, whereas this is the structure of your villus, which is a very important concept related to this. So within that, actually here there you can see certain kind of elevations. It is a finger like elevation, finger like here structure it is. This we call it as here the villus. It is the structure of the villus. So if you observe this one, you can see here this entire elevation finger like structure is known as a villus. Very interesting thing, when you happen to see the inner portion of this villus, actually here it consists of the lymphatic vessel at its center. The lymphatic vessel present at its center is known as lacteal. Very important point. This is what we call as the lacteal. The lacteal is supplied with various types of blood vessels. There you can see here the blood capillary network is also present around this here the lacteal. This network of capillaries is formed by the arteries. See this is actually an artery. Meanwhile, we can see the supply of the veins also. These veins also enter into this and forms the network like structure. Very important point, in between these successive villi, if you happen to see, there you can see the depression is present, right? A depression is present. This depression is actually known as crypts. Crypts they are all, okay? And within which we can find out here crypts are present within that. Here these crypts are actually known as see this within these crypts you can happen to see crypts of Leiberkens. Crypts of Leiberkens are present here within this area, which act like a glands, and finally they do secrete say intestinal juice, succus entericus we used to call it. Crypts of Leiberkens are present within this. This is actually the structure of the villi. So very important diagram, right? Right. And this is actually the internal portion of the stomach, and it is a gastric rugae, and this is actually the villi. And the difference between the two you can here clearly observe. Right. Coming to the next one, the characteristic features, when you happen to see this one, as I said diagrammatically, see this, the points also here in a detailed way. See that this layer forms irregular folds, rugae, within the stomach, and in a small intestine, the finger like here, the villi will be formed. That is one thing. Thereafter, the cells lining the villi, see this one, the cells lining the villi actually produce the microscopic projections. It's a very important thing, which we call them as microvilli, right? If you see this one, this is a cell present within the here the villi. At its free surface, you can see the microscopic here projections are present, and this particular part is known as microvilli, right? Is one thing, right? Next to this, villi is supplied with network of capillaries, and here this network of capillaries actually present around a lymphatic vessel which we call it as lacteal. Lacteal is a lymphatic vessel present at its center, around which a network of capillaries are formed, and this network of capillaries are formed by arteries as well as the veins, that we have to keep it in mind. Thereafter, the mucosal epithelium has got globulate cells. One important thing, these globulate cells generally secretes the mucus, is one thing. Thereafter, and it helps for lubrication, the entire lubrication of alimentary canal internally, it helps, right? The mucosa also forms the glands within the stomach, and these glands are known as gastric glands, right? Within the stomach, whatever the mucosa is present, within that mucosa you can happen to see the glands, and these glands are known as the gastric glands. Whereas in between the successive here villi, there you can happen to see the crypts, and within the crypts, see this, in between the crypts, there you can see here certain kind of the glands which we call it as crypts of Lieberkühn, right? Their intestine, you can see the crypts of Lieberkühn are present within this, right? Later on here, all the 4 layers shows the modifications in different parts of your alimentary canal. So the alimentary canal, all its length is not similar. It here shows some differences in some of the areas. As I said now here, in case of stomach, how it is different from here the small intestine. This is all about actually the villi as well as here the rugae present in our small intestine, right? See this one, it is actually the structure, you can see very clearly, of villus. So this is actually here the villus, right? And here it's the outermost layer of this villus, which we call it as brush border here outline. Then in between the villus, there you can happen to see there is a depression which we call it as crypts. And when you see here this outermost layer, which is made up of columnar epithelium, these are actually cells which we call it as here enterocytes. At its free surface, as I said here, microvilli are present. Then what is actually the use of this villi as well as the microvilli? Then villi and microvilli generally increases the surface area of your intestine, so that more amount of the food is get absorbed into your bloodstream. So in order to increase the surface area and here promotes the absorption of the digested material, generally the villi as well as the microvilli that helps to us. This is all about your actually the intestine and the histology of your alimentary canal, and the difference between the gastric rugae as well as the villi, and complete structure of the villi also we happen to see. This is all for today, and in next class I will explain detailedly about here the different kind of digestive glands that are all present in our digestive system.